Also, I don't have beer. Okay.
It's okay.
Um,
Welcome to the Durwood
I
Experience,
dug
where we
into
talk
the apple.
seriously about nothing.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Beth. We're excited to have you join the podcast this evening.
That's
Thank
super
you.
professional.
Mm-hmm.
That's way more
Oh
than
God.
we're not like that.
I listen to you guys. I know how you guys are.
Let's talk about teams. Let's talk about what makes a good team and people working well together. And is that important, or is it just, hey, just do your job, do your damn job, or is it important that teams get along and that there are people in the right roles? Ethan, what do you think?
It's important that everybody know what their job is and that they can do their job and work together. And what I'm thinking of isn't even work related, it's video game related. So, right, so when you work together with somebody, especially when you're a full-time employee, you go to a place, you get to know everybody, you spend time together, lots of time together, and you're going after a goal. When you play video games and you solo like I do, you queue up and you just get put with random people against another group of random people. And you have literally no time to figure out whether or not people are good at the thing that they do, the expectation, or you just kind of have to trust that everybody knows their job, they know what to do, they communicate kind of the same way, and you're going after a goal, and you just kind of see how, and you only have like 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops, depending on which game it is, to make it happen. And a lot of times it's really messy, and sometimes you don't even, I was playing like last night and it was just like we're not doing very good, and then like it just came down to the wire and we pulled it out, right? Everybody just all of a sudden knew focus, they knew what to do.
What game was this?
That happened to be Overwatch.
Okay.
Last night.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. I was hoping it would be Sea of Thieves.
No, Sea of Thieves is like, it's too sandboxy for that. So it's like you get on and you can be by yourself and never see another person for your entire playtime sometimes.
Huh. Beth, are you a gamer?
I love games. I spend too much money on games.
Video games? Board games?
I love video games. I love playing video games, especially with my significant other, who I dragged into playing games with me, especially co-op, because I think playing as a team is really fun. I prefer to play as a team. Like playing one-on-one, like doing RPGs or anything open world is interesting to me, but when you have to like solve a puzzle while somebody has to like crank something in some part of the area of the map while you have to be on the other side and you're both like coordinating, it can be like difficult, but it's an awesome challenge and I really like that. It's an experience with somebody, so I enjoy those types of things.
What kind of games you playing lately?
Well, we just finished It Takes Two, which is a Xbox co-op, Xbox co-op game. Love that game. It was a lot of fun. What else have we played?
That one's like hardcore co-op too.
Yeah, like you have like.
Yeah. The whole premise of the game.
The premise of the game, Dad, is you're saving a marriage. So. So if that tells you anything,
okay,
it has to be like both parties in it to win it. We've also played games that are one player, but we switch off every time we die, which is a lot of fun. Until Ben just plays something completely by himself. He's like, let me try one more time, and then he just plays the entire game. And in that case, we're just like, oh cool, like I guess I'll just sit here and watch you. I still love him.
So I've never, maybe the two of you can help me with this one. I've never understood the phenomenon of watching someone play video games.
Really?
And
Why?
I know that this is a thing. I know, like, and I'll cite a couple of examples that I know of, that I'm aware of, but I am by no means an expert in this. One is, like, people play a video game on, like, and stream it on Twitch, and other people just watch them. Okay, I don't get it, but whatever. And the other one is, oh, I'm dating this one person and I think they're really cool, and I'm just going to go over and hang out and watch them play a video game.
Oh, I feel like that's like somewhat of a girl thing, and I hate
Could
to
be.
label that as a gendered thing, but
Help me understand this. Why is this a thing?
well, I don't let that happen. Like, I want to play. I'm not
Sure.
gonna sit here. But then again, I do like to see how the story unfolds. I like to psychoanalyze how my partner solves puzzles, and sit there and go, okay, what are they gonna do? I know what I would do. Should I help them? No, they gotta figure it out. No, I'm gonna help them. No, do you want me to help you? But yeah, and it's like the same way around. I don't know.
Twitch is pretty easy to explain. Like, don't you watch sports? Same thing. It's the exact same thing.
I think
I suppose.
I don't watch Twitch, but I watch Game Grumps. I've watched Game Grumps for years, since like I was in high school, and I'm a big fan because I think they're really funny.
Yeah.
Just listening to them is funny. Like, you don't even have to watch the context of what's happening, because most of the time it's not really related. Yeah, it's comedy.
And Twitch, like the other streaming like Twitch, so YouTube is like that as well. I mean, it's not just watching somebody play games. There's interaction with the people that are watching and the streamer, the person that's playing the game. So I mean, they're very big on the community. And I remember I was watching one guy, it was Boxy Fresh, who, and this, it actually floored me when it happened. So I'm sitting there watching, he's playing with another streamer named Beardageddon, and they're like, it's like the bromance, right? Like, they're really good friends, they're really good at the game, it's always hilarious when they play. And they're doing this thing in Sea of Thieves called tucking. So they're hiding from other people that are doing something. It's really kind of boring unless you fill it with really weird stuff. And all of a sudden Beardageddon was like, let's play 20 questions. And so there were like 4,000 people watching Boxy Fresh play 20 questions with Beardageddon. It was, and I was like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, that's freaking stupid. But then I'm like super into it, like 5 minutes later, like having a great old time. And then they're like, oh, let's get chat involved. And I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to do it with chat. Right. So now they're like, all right, chat, you have to do this thing to guess your question. Like, let's see how this goes, or to ask a question. So very, very interesting.
All right, so to circle back to teams.
Yeah.
I want to, like, how much do you give allowances for somebody who, at least in the gaming world, is a noob? And can you tell right away that they're like, they don't have any idea what they're doing? Yeah,
100%.
And how much allowance do you give them for being a noob? Or is it like, oh gosh, we have a noob?
Everybody's
I think it's a little bit of both.
It gets irritating sometimes. Like, I mean, especially if you have like, you lose and lose and lose and lose, and you just get a bunch of people that are noobs, but it's like, you were a noob one time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like that goes for people at work too, not just like games. Because you want to like help them. You want them to be good at it. You don't want their experience to be bad. You don't you want them to come back.
So your tolerance for noobs at work is higher than your tolerance for noobs in a video game?
No, I think it goes both ways.
Okay.
Well, and there's the noob is different, right? So it's like, noob in a video game is like they are new to the game, or it's a new game for them. Maybe they understand the mechanics and they haven't been playing a very long time, so they don't fully understand the mechanics at like a very deep level. So, but at work, it's like that would be someone who's brand new to the field or brand new to the job, not somebody who has been doing it for 10 years and now is new to my organization. Right? I think at work, there's different noobs.
Right.
So I have an interesting team dynamic conundrum that is going to rear its head at my organization. Let's say there are 4 separate software development teams within the organization, of which I am part of 2. Okay. And one of them is known as a pretty high performing team, or as my manager at this organization likes to say, a sticky team. The team is motivated by the other members of the team. Everyone is committed and responsible to the other members. Like, hey, I don't need to have my boss step in here to tell me what to do. I know what I need to do, and I'm going to get it done for my team. And I have another team that's sort of like a collection of individuals, if you know what I mean by that. So, and then there are 2 other teams that are also like kind of large teams and have been around, and I think they work okay. I don't really know, but from what I hear from members of those teams who have joined the sticky team temporarily, they're like, this is a great team. I love this team. So that's kind of the backdrop. And then there's talk about restructuring things and changing how the teams are organized, whether it be, hey, let's merge a bunch together, or do we want to size them appropriately, because the team size, when it gets a lot of people, gets unwieldy and you have diminishing returns. But there's talk about how they want to restructure it. And one of the challenges that I'm feeling internally is, okay, here you have this team that's operating very well. If you take those members and just disseminate them or merge them into other existing teams, you're going to lose that mojo. Whereas if you take other people and sort of bring them in slowly into the high performing team, they're going to take on the characteristics of the team. And I have this fear that is not what's going to happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a
I describe that in such a wildly vague manner, or do you know what I'm talking about?
No, it's very common. I've heard that before. Well, these people perform really well together, so let's split them up, and then they will influence the other people they're now with. And it's like, nope, that's not what's going to happen. They work well together because they're together. And if you split them up, no one's going to work well together.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're going to join an existing team that has a way of doing things, and they're going to become part of that collective, absorbed into the Borg continuum, if I may use that term.
Thinking over there.
Beth, I'm interested in your observations of teams and things you've encountered about different philosophies about how teams operate.
It's funny because we are going through the same thing right now in my company, and golly, it sure is a bummer, because the team that's the hot mess is more collectively good at doing more than just what they're assigned to do. That team can do multiple things, not just one thing, to function like the whole organization of the day. And this other team that's going, whoa, what's going on here? You guys are just afloat. Well, they have way more materials than this hot mess team. They have had more materials for a long time, and once they send over their people, they're definitely just there to report back and go, oh my god, this is what's happening, and here are things that work for this team, and here are things that definitely don't. And I know this is going to happen because I've talked to them. and I have soft traits, so of course, like, I'm going in with a more non-professional attitude and going, hi, like, I'm someone who you're going to work with, and if you need any like help figuring out anything on this hot mess team, I'm here for you. Like, what can I do for you? What do you need to know? How can we make both ships not sink and be successful in this? And it's difficult. It is a lot. And
are there some people that understand the human dynamic and others that don't?
I think it's going to take a lot for those people who have been in the organized group to realize like how human we definitely are being in this hot mess group. If you can't tell, I'm in the hot mess group. and although I love my team and everyone is literally giving it their all, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just the cards we're given, and I'm just gonna be there and just let it happen and go, look, this is what we're dealing with. Can you help?
So is the hot mess team bad? I can't. Which one's good and which one's bad? So hot mess is good, and then
we're considered bad, but it's not. It's not like it's due to the conditions. It's not due to like the actual team members, because like we're all just stressed out all the time.
But the hot mess team works well together, and they get more than their work done.
Yeah, we have definitely more abilities than what the people who are organized are, because they're like, okay, this is my job and that's all I have to do. That's it.
And the hot mess team is a team of octopi who you all have 8 arms doing 8 different things and keeping a bunch of spinning plates going because the environment in which you're in is complete chaos.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm impressed with my team. And no one will know except for us. We're just considered the hot mess team, and it's a bummer, but it's also like,
because you guys don't do stuff the way that everybody else does it? Are you like you're the oddballs out of all the groups?
I think it's because we're just extremely low staffed, and I work in healthcare, so no, there's nobody that wants to work in a hot mess.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work. Meh.
Not in healthcare right now, no.
Not in healthcare, and I guess the reason why I'm still in it is because I'm like, I can't leave. Like, I can't leave that. They're on fire. It's my job to put it out.
In for a penny, in for a pound. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's just different. I don't know how to explain it. You're helping people, and that's the point.
Are there different leaders on, like, in both of your scenarios for your good team and not good teams?
I don't actually know a lot of the people on I don't want to call them good or bad.
I would call it team chaos and team structure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Team structure has no idea what they've gotten themselves into. But, like, the really joyous side of that is we are really cool. We're a really awesome team. We're totally down to learn new things and like understand and take notes and follow and go, okay, this can work. We can do this, you guys. And the structured team is like not as personable as I don't think they understand that that's the point, is just to learn from one another, to co-op and spin the wheels over here on one tentacle and they they spin the wheels over here with the other. It's interesting, and I am excited and nervous all at the same time to get to know team structure, because they clearly have it together. And I'd like to be a part of that and go, okay, the building's not on fire. We have this. We checked this out in the morning. This is good to go. Okay, this person has this. We have to make sure that this person gets this. It'll be okay. There'll be a lot more communication skills that will be coming, and it's all new and it's all experimental, and it's bad right now, I'm not gonna lie, but it's gonna get better, and I know it will be better, which is...
So you're going to Team Chaos, or you're going from Team Chaos to Team Structure?
Team Chaos and Team Structure are becoming one team.
One team, okay.
Mm-hmm. They're
Which
getting
team
married.
Are you on now? Which team are you on now?
Team Blender.
Team Blender! It's gonna be awesome. I don't know what we'll make, but it will be great.
And were you on one of the teams, or you were like put in charge of blending the teams?
I am a mini team of 3 people, and a normal team is supposed to range from 6 to 8. So my team is the oddballs that did not go to medical school. And we are all collectively a bunch of nerds, and I mean like the Shire nerds that have just learned on the job, that are doing everything that we can to learn and understand how things work. And it's been cool. I mean, I love my team. We're all friends. I've known them for years. Yeah. We do everything. We can do everything.
Typically,
That's
team structure
Mm-hmm.
does okay until something comes in sideways, and then they can't do anything because it doesn't fit.
I have no idea how team structure operates, to be honest. I've never actually seen it. I know that others have, but I haven't been blessed or graced with their presence. And that's okay, because I'm balancing the plates in other locations. So, yeah.
That's interesting you talk about that when something comes in sideways. And it could be something comes in sideways like a new process is introduced, or hey, we have to account for this other thing, and it comes in to the structured team and they're like, yeah, we don't do that. And it's like, well, but we need to from here on out. No, we don't do that. And it is kind of just swept under the rug, and it causes problems. Whereas the team that is more like, well, let's figure it out. We'll all figure it out together, and it becomes a puzzle solving exercise rather than you moved my cheese.
Yeah.
We were at a place like that, Steve, where, I mean, you came in, we were introducing these radical ideas like, let's talk about it. Let's all talk about it together and like be honest about things. I remember I was in one meeting with Fleeman, and they're like, we're gonna do this thing. It's probably a thing that never even got done the time we were there. It was something related to the anyway, they're like, we're gonna do this thing, and they're like, we're gonna do it in 2 sprints, and I'm like just in there, a fly on the wall, like not part of any of the teams, like this weird person from the marketing team. And they're going through all their stuff, and I'm like, can I ask a question? I asked one question and I burnt it all down to the ground, and they're like, I guess we got to start over. And Fleeman walked out. He's like, I'm so glad you were there to say something.
I was talking to my boss about something like that recently, and he just was like, yep, I talked to all the higher ups, and we were all like, yeah, you can do it. It's gonna suck, but you can do it. Just put up with it. It will fail, but you can do it.
Are you at the table flipping point of your millennial career yet, where you're just kind of like I've had enough.
Oh my God, how many times a week do I go through that? Like, oh.
Because
No,
that's like a
not
very like, I feel like, to me that has been like my entire career. That's the advice I got from my dad and my aunt and uncle and my grandpa and stuff. Like, work hard. So then they're like, yeah, work hard and like do this, and then so it's like that didn't get me anything, literally nothing. Except fed up with stuff.
My team has created this new mantra, and it's called "Nothing actually matters." Nothing matters. It really doesn't, unless you make it matter.
Where were you guys when I needed you like 20 years ago?
Oh my God! Like, we would have been such good friends. Nothing matters. Like, literally, when we're all peak, like, fed up with everybody, and we're like all snippy and we're angry, and we're like, I'm not actually angry with you. I'm just fucking pissed that this is happening right now, and I just have to turn to my friend and be like, nothing matters. Like,
yeah,
it's
because
stupid.
I have to say my tolerance for nonsense is directly proportional to my age and experience level. Because there are things that go on right now that I know I deal with at my job that 15 years ago I would have like been super upset about. And I'd be like, I can't believe we're doing this. This is so inefficient. And now I'm like, I can't change that. I can only change certain things. My sphere of concern is shrinking.
That's awesome.
Are you familiar with the sphere of concern and the sphere of influence?
Are we getting it into it? Let's
well,
go.
it's related to teams and whatnot. Like, there's only so much you can influence in your job. The sphere of influence. And then there's all the things that you don't have any influence over. You don't have any input into how they design the teams or the work you're assigned or which facility you go to or whatever. But that's in your sphere of concern. Like, hey, what am I going to be doing today? How many patients am I going to see? That's in your sphere of concern.
Yeah.
And then you might say, well, my concern also deals with how they're treating this new person that just came in. I'm coming up with examples here. And at some point you're like, I don't know that I'm concerned about that kind of stuff anymore, because I only have so many emotional brain cycles to devote to things. That's healthy for me.
You're talking about the last serotonin cell.
Could be. That's a good way to talk about it.
I understand. Yes, there are some things that used to freak me out like 5 months ago, and now I'm like, oh yeah, I'll totally go stick that person with a needle. Cool. Where are we doing this? Oh, you're bullying. Bullying has I have such a short fuse for bullying though. If somebody comes after somebody who's new, I'm like, you need to shut up. That was you 2 years ago. Like, that was little baby you, and nobody came to your rescue, and I'm gonna be that person. I'm gonna go help them and tell them, hey, you're doing a good job. Everything sucks, but you're doing a good job. No one told me that.
So that's almost your sphere of influence.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're like, no, I'm gonna influence this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. If I could lift the burden, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ethan, have your spheres grown or shrunk in the last couple of years?
I don't know. Probably stayed the same, if not gotten bigger. I don't think they've shrunk. The number of fucks I give about stuff is definitely low a lot of the time.
That would suggest your sphere of concern has shrunk.
Well, it's this really weird concept. I try and explain it to people because it's like, I don't care, but that doesn't mean that I'm not passionate about something just because I don't care, right? Because to your point, none of it matters. Like corporate America, 100% a scam. Like I remember I was watching this lady. She's like, "What do you do at a corporate job? Like, tell me what you guys do." And it's like everybody's like, "I send some emails. I sit in an office. I sit at my desk." Yeah, the work we do is crap. It's made up, 100% made up. So it's like I don't care about the work. Like, it doesn't. So as a contractor, it's like I go to these places and it's like I don't care what you do. Literally, don't care about your product. It doesn't matter to me. That's not the thing. That's not why I'm here. It doesn't matter. Like, so I don't care, and then I don't have to care about their politics either, right? But
Amen,
I'm still passionate about like doing work and doing a good job and like helping people and things like that. But it's like at the end of the day, I don't care. It's super weird. It's this really weird place to be in because it's like you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna do my thing, and then like something explodes and you're like, don't care.
So this raises the question, what are you passionate about then? Both of you. Like what are you like, okay, this is why I do what I do? Or you just totally pass it, you're like, I'm checking out, like.
No, I love it when I work on a really good, high functioning team. I don't care what we're doing. Like, if I have a team that I enjoy seeing every day, and yeah, we deal with issues and problems and challenges, but if I genuinely feel like the team respects each other and says, hey, this is your area, can you do this for me? As opposed to, hey, this thing isn't working. Whose fault is this? I mean, that happens too in some teams. Whereas We're all like, we don't care really why it happened other than understanding how to make sure it doesn't happen again. But it's like, well, let's just solve this. And that is my jam, it's all about the team. I don't care what I'm doing. Like, and Ethan, you know where I'm at, where is it the sexiest work ever? No. But I've got this great team that gets me up every day. I'm like, I swear, I gotta go see my team.
It's literally the least of the sexiest work you could be doing, in my opinion.
Let me just put on my pretty pajamas and go out to the creek and take the dog out, and then I'm gonna text Beth about it. Hold on 1 second. Like, oh, you guys hurt me.
This is a great story about the good team. Is this gal joined the organization as a full-time employee like 6-8 months ago. Works remotely, but is awesome to work with, and she participates in these teams kind of as like an adjunct member of the team, not like a full participant, more like an observer, just to be aware of things and then help us as needed. And she was really sick a couple weeks ago, and she announced one day she had COVID, and we're like, what are you doing? Sign off for the day, go rest. And she's like, yeah, but this is a team that is really fun and I want to be on this call. And it was like, I mean, if you took that as a microcosm, you're like, okay, this person is very sick, but they're getting energy from the team. To me, that was like crystallized for me, like why I like that team and why I like good teams, because it feeds the energy, it doesn't take it away.
Yeah, that's really awesome. That's cool. I applaud that person because I would never go into work with COVID. Nah, I'm out, guys.
Well,
bye.
she's remote. Keep in mind that all she had to do was, trudge over to the desk, which I will say, Which I will say, in this working remotely world, it's like, unless I am on my deathbed, I can work when I'm sick. I just maybe take more breaks. It's interesting.
I don't do that anymore. I had one.
Depends if you're getting energy from your team.
No. So this is it, because I've been thinking about this too. So like, I like people. I'm an extrovert, and I like understanding how people interact with one another. I like understanding how groups interact with one another. But I feel like being about the team and for the team is not good for people in the long term. Like, it's great that you have friendships, like working friendships, and you want to do things, but ultimately I think doing things for the team is a detriment in the long run.
Oh, I totally disagree.
I know, and it's super weird. It's super weird.
But why? What is your reasoning? Like, what do you mean? Don't you like your team?
I do. I like people that I work with. I like working with. I've worked on teams where, we've had great relationships and stuff, and been with teams for a long time. And I think, I don't know. I think it's more this, like, it's just this whole. I don't know if I can explain it super well, because it's just like a new thing I've been thinking about. But it's this whole idea that, like, I do everything for the team and it's all about the team. I don't like that. Like, it's work.
Okay,
like,
so what is it then? Let's throw this question back at you, because I answered quickly. Like, I'm all about my team. I want to get my work done for the team. I want to play my role. I want to do it well for my team. Where do you get your job sat from? What is your jam at work?
Well, it's understanding how people interact and how groups, like, it's understanding kind of the living organism of the organization is what I like. But ultimately and I mean, Steve, we work together, like, I'm fairly good at fitting in to a lot of places and working with people and working with teams. So that's like, maybe it's because it's not a challenge for me. Maybe it's because I've been doing it for so long. I don't know.
What would make it a challenge? And also, it's very interesting to, like, so you're an observer, and that's what makes work interesting for you.
Oh, it's more than it's analytics. It's analytical is what it is. So, like, taking in all kinds of information and then processing that information constantly. But I don't necessarily sit back. If I go to a new place,
Okay.
there's always anybody that knows anything about going to a new place in any kind of leadership role, as you observe first before you do anything. But yeah, I don't know. It's really weird, because it's very well, I don't know that it's counterintuitive, but it's the opposite of what all of the training that we have in our space tells you. Specifically in certain certifications. And that may be what bothers me, is that it's so pragmatic. I don't know. Yeah.
Not like
because it's like, so don't get like, yeah, I'm not like, yeah, I gotta get up and do this stuff for my team. Like, no, I don't care. And I would hope that they do the same thing, that they're not like burning themselves out for anybody. And like, if I think that there's a threat to the team, will I try and mitigate it? Absolutely. But
okay.
It's not like for the team it's not like the thing. It's the fun of trying to get to the goal and doing your thing and maybe trying to help people along the way, right? So if I take this back to video games, yeah, I'm not playing in these roles, and like, you can pick your role sometimes, if you want to. I don't. I'm like, yeah, just put me in whatever. Like, let's Rochambeau this and see what happens type deal, and see what role I get and how bad I am at it, right? Because that's another thing. You're playing in one role for a while, and then you go to a new one and you suck at it, and maybe people hate you for a minute. But I'm not like, it's not like what can I do for the team? It's what's best for us strategically based on what my role is.
Okay.
So will I stand in front of all the damage because I'm a tank? Yes, because that's my role. Will I jump out in front of all the damage when I'm a healer? No, because that's stupid.
Yeah.
It's not for the team. It's in my best interest and the team's best interest for me to be somewhere else hiding.
It's a very interesting take.
What
mine's very emotional.
What happens when you have a team member that doesn't play their role? Like, and I'll just use this. You have a tank that hides.
Yep. Oh, it happened last night when I was playing. Yep, 100%.
What does that do?
It can ruin everything, and it's very frustrating.
Is it your place to tell them?
You can if you want to, but that doesn't usually go over. First of all, in this game, people aren't necessarily in voice chat, so if you tell them in voice, they may not hear. You can type it out if you want, but it's like, and this is actually something I learned from this particular video game. So I was fairly competitive like early on, and we had this person that came in and they picked a character that it was like not the meta, it wasn't the thing that you use. And we were all kind of down on this person, and then one person was like, hey, like to this person, what do you need us to do for you? So you're going to play this role. What do you need from us? And I'm like, oh, I like the way that's different. I like that. So how can I work around this person? What can I do differently to make my experience better?
See, I view that as for the team mentality, though. Like, oh, you're doing this? Like, okay, buddy, what do we gotta do? Like, you're doing whatever.
But not for the team.
All right.
For me.
I'm just.
Yeah, this feels like you have a persona at work and a persona in
the game.
What was I was watching something. I have something that I gotta send you. I think I saved it. It's a video about personas that I saw, and I was laughing so hard.
Persona.
I was just editing some episodes that talked about personas. Surprise, surprise.
Oh my God, we're back in it.
Yep, that is the zombie topic for this podcast.
Yes.
No persona in video games. Same person at work, same person at home.
I don't think that's right. You just described yourself being a different persona. That the team and how everybody operates together.
Because I learned.
You're like, at work, I don't care, but in the game, I do.
This was 5 years ago. Remember, this was a while ago that I talked about this.
Okay.
We're switching gears.
And this is new. Buddy. Remember, this is a new thought that's not all the way out yet.
So it's really okay. This is great that you bring this up, because there's somebody at my workplace who is new, and they have been given a role of responsibility, and they are still learning a lot of things. And they talk down to a lot of different individuals, or at least they come across that way. And it's been really difficult to figure out like what they're doing and how to work around that, and it's extremely stressful. How would you guys deal with that type of situation? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Everybody understands that.
What the hell is that?
That is universal.
What is that? How do I deal with that? Like, nicely. Like, hey.
So my take on it is the classic promotion like conundrum / issue. People get promoted because they were good at a thing, and now they're in a new role where they that thing that they were super good at isn't the thing that they need to be doing. And so they're way out of their element because they don't actually know what they're supposed to be doing. Especially when you get these people in a role of authority, they don't understand how to actually lead people. They're like, I have the whip, and when I tell them, they're going to do it, which they're wrong. That's not the people that are being hired anymore. It's not going to be the thing going forward. And so what I always say, because my oldest is experiencing this, they just had a leadership change too, and I'm like, well, so the trick is to play their game, but not play their game, but make them think that you're playing their game. So you make them think that they are in control, when in reality, you are the one that's in control. Not to be too out there, if you guys remember CSI, there was an episode, I can't remember the first dude's name, but him and this like dominatrix had like a thing going, and
Nice.
she pointed out that
Sorry, Dad.
she pointed out that the sub is the one that's actually in control.
That's some narcissistic, like, shit. I don't know. Like,
You know, if
this
I
makes me
had
wanna
a
drink
nickel,
more. I just
Right.
can't deal with that. How do I deal with the narcissist? That's literally how you deal with a narcissist.
Yep, because I think a lot of people are narcissists, just maybe not like to the destructive degree, but yeah, lots of people are about me, and it's very evident in the things that they say. So if you listen and everything they say is about them, then they are. What's funny is I had someone recently try and project it onto me, and it was glaringly obvious to me, probably not very obvious to them. And
It's so
I was
cringy.
like, I will say something next time. I'll let this one slide, but that's not how I work. But again, playing the game, right?
I don't like playing games, dude. I mean, I like playing games, but I don't like playing games. Like, I don't do that.
I agree. It'd be so much better if that's like my dream, right? It's just to work with a bunch of people, like a bunch of my friends who I know are really good, who nobody's playing games. We're all just trying, like, that's the goal, is to just
if you just had a really great team that you worked with and you were accountable to your team and you really liked each other, that would be awesome.
But you're not doing it for your team. Pick that mic back up. You didn't drop it. Nice try.
But you actually are, because you're like, hey, this is my squad who I'm going to battle with, and we, come hell or high water, we're gonna get this done to the best of our ability, given the information we have and the parameters we have. We're gonna try our best. But you know what? The goal might be so outlandish we're not gonna get there. But you know what? We're gonna have fun doing what we do, and we're gonna get as much as is reasonably possible to get done. And if we don't meet our goal, I don't care. My team is great. They got my back.
But it's all fun, isn't it? Like, I mean, to me, it's all fun.
I think you just contradicted yourself.
No,
Yes, you
I
did.
think it's like,
You know
all
what? I
can
think
think of is battle robots.
I don't want to play the game. Like, my preference is to not play the game, but you got to play the games. It's annoying.
Oh.
some games, yep.
We
But
know
when
a
you're with
person-
your team, when you're with your peeps, you're not playing any games. You're just getting stuff done.
No, but those are always on breaks.
Okay. So,
Steve and I know somebody where I had to convince them it was their idea. This was at the place we were at together. And it was like we had another person that was there that watched it happen, but it's like this slow walk of like, okay, you didn't like that when I said it. Now let me walk you there and then position it to you to figure out yourself, I guess. I don't know. And it worked, and it was the funniest thing ever.
is this like a person in authority? Because that's amazing if that's
They
the
were,
case.
Gently
So-
coaching someone into the decision they should make.
Oh God, that's so awful. I
It's-
would never give that to them.
It's super fun though, Beth. Right? Because it's like
no.
it's super fun because they think that and you like, you're the one that knows, and it's like a big joke.
Mhm.
I can't do it.
And it happens a lot. And usually it manifests itself where you're like, I just said that 5 minutes ago, and they just said it, and they think that's what we're supposed to do. And really, what it is you actually convince them subconsciously to restate what you did. And you got to look at that and go, oh, yep, I did that.
This brings me to another topic. I think positivity flies. And like, if somebody in the office is pissed, everyone's gonna be pissed, especially if they all like that one person. But if that person's like really happy and like purposefully doing that so the others like can catch it, it makes a whole world of difference. That's weird. That's some weird psychology shit right there.
Yeah, it works the other way too, where there are people who not necessarily everybody respects, but they maybe talk a lot or something, and they can be the ones that are negative and bring everybody down too.
Yes.
This is the informal networks that we're talking about.
It totally is. It totally is.
Yep.
It's like my favorite things: personas, networks, and paradigm paralysis. Those are my three favorite things.
Is there anybody on your team who you just honey roast the crap out of no matter what? Do you know what I mean by honey roast? I think I've brought this to your attention, Steve, but
I was gonna say,
know.
Is that a Grandpa Steve term?
No, it's a me
like,
term.
Is this lovingly giving somebody crap?
Yes.
Okay.
Or like just like
you have brought this to my attention, usually when you are honey roasting me.
I honey roast you all the time. Honey roast is where you just lay compliments on compliments because you love someone so much. You're just like, oh, cute aggression to the 9th power.
But sometimes you will point out a flaw in my character, but in a very loving and nice way. And I go,
I mean, nah, that's not honey roasting. That's just me being an asshole.
I thought that was honey roasting.
Honey roasting is where you're just like, I had this one team member, and no matter what you say, if anybody touches this one team member, we're all coming for you. Like, you don't touch them, and everybody's on the same page. They're just like, I love this person so much. And yeah, do you guys have a person like that you work with? I have like multiple. I love my team so much, but like,
I did when
we
were at the place that can't say its name anymore.
Oh, bummer.
It's like some Voldemort stuff or something.
Right. The organization that shall not be named.
Amazing. Well, I'm sad that they're not around anymore, but I love those people.
It was good times. Like, I think I was talking to somebody, like, I think that's one of the things that was so bad about the pandemic, was because that just went away. Like, we tried to hold on to it for as long as we could, but there's no like closure or anything like that. It was super painful, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, that was a little weird. Well, you look back on that what was it, St. Patrick's Day roughly of 2020, right?
Yep.
And that the ensuing 3 to 6 months was so bonkers. I don't think I really had time to process how weird things were. It was just like, I'm just dealing with something new.
Yeah, we were all trying to pretend like it wasn't happening. Because it's weird a place, and so we'd been there. I'd been there for 3 years, almost 3 years. Steve had been there for at least a year. A bunch of other teammates had been there for a while. And so we were like fairly ingrained into the organization, as well as like being really good friends with each other and hanging out like on a regular basis after work and at work. And then that just like it went away in like multiple ways. Like the client had to cut all the contracts. The full-timers had to take a pay cut for temporarily. So not only were we now not working together, but we couldn't go see each other either on any kind of regular basis because of the pandemic.
Was that difficult for you?
Yeah, I finally just got over it about 6 months ago. Yeah.
So it was difficult to not be with your really good team and your great teammates.
No, it's because I'm an extrovert, and so I didn't get to be with friends. And the fact that it just went away, so there was no closure, was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
This is strike 2 for you, right?
If you've been drinking, maybe, but if you're sober like me, it's not.
This is strike 2 of you contradicting yourself.
How did I contradict myself?
Actually, technically, this is strike 3. You're like, I'm an extrovert, but I don't give a crap about people I work with.
That's not what I said.
You do.
I said
you
I don't.
Totally do. You are about your team, whether you want to admit it or not.
I'm about people, but I don't like the whole for-your team mentality.
I'm not sure that seems like a distinction without a difference.
I think to the lay it would be, yeah.
We good?
Recording stopped.
Okay. Beyond teams and work and all that really good stuff that I love talking about so much outside of work, mind you, with a cup of what is this? Apple pie.
Is that Crown Royal?
Oh no, this is homemade apple pie.
Oh,
I still have some of that apple pie we made last December. It is ripe. It's been marinating. It's been marinating since December.
I have to chase it with Mountain Dew. It's so strong. And I don't drink hard liquor. Nothing is good in my house. I didn't have any beer. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to enjoy this? But anyway, I was thinking about not... This is terrible because all we've been talking about is work, but somebody was like, yeah, all I do is go home, talk about work with my sister, and then go to bed. It's work. Have you developed since the pandemic any new skills that you're like, okay, I've tried this? Like some people have like redone their house, they remodeled, or they baked bread, or whatever catastrophe they got their little hands in. But have you really picked up anything? Like, has anything jumped at you where you're like, I want to go do this, I'm really excited to go do this, I want to do this?
Yeah, woodworking was first, so now I have all the tools to do that, and then podcasting.
And what was the
second? Yeah,
podcasting.
Podcasting.
Sorry. Well, that's cool. Woodworking. Have you made anything?
Nothing fancy. My idea was, because I can't make anything square, apparently, was to create like an account called Wobbly Woodworking and just make stuff that just wouldn't sit still. It's just because it's like, I don't know why I can't make it square. I don't know.
Huh.
I've always been
fascinated. How about you, Beth?
by
What did you learn during the pandemic?
How many hours I spent on Animal Crossing was too much, and because right as pandemic started, I got a Switch. My friends got me a Switch for my birthday.
Yeah, we got a number of those too.
Which is great.
And Animal Crossing. It's like the first video game my wife like really ever got into.
I love Animal Crossing. I've played that game religiously since it came out in 2001. I love that game.
Nice.
Love it. Yeah. I was so excited to get it. I didn't even have a Switch, and I had like a countdown on my calendar when that game was coming out. Because I was just gonna go over and watch my friends play, which brings full circle. But what did I do? I think I had a style change. I got into like vintage style a lot more, and actually started doing it, and started actually putting large amounts of money towards it, because I don't want to be basic anymore.
It's way more expensive, right?
It's way more expensive, but you have fewer articles of clothing in your wardrobe then. So the more expensive items, yes, you want to wear those more and get rid of all like the shitty plastic shirts that you have and replace it with something that's good quality and something that's sustainable. Sustainability. I read a lot about that when I was in pandemic. Because it's like, wow, we can't actually get anything. What happens like if there's another crisis?
You
Can
mean
I
like
go
6
for
months from now?
I don't know. Like it was just hypothetical, but
That's not anymore. It's real seeds.
When another variant comes out, yeah.
You guys heard about the mysterious pneumonia? They thought it might be Legionnaires or something.
What?
Really?
Yep, something else is coming.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Also monkeypox.
Yep, monkeypox.
Watch out.
Which, I mean, I gotta tell you, it really like the cyclical nature of our society bothers me somewhat. So, the 100 years from the Spanish
the
flu.
inability to learn from history?
Yeah. Did we talk about this last week? I think you quoted Hamlin's razor to me, and I told you that I've destroyed that. I don't believe that anymore, and that everybody's malicious. It's all malicious now.
I'm a big believer in Hanlon's razor, but I think there's a certain. I think some things come across as people being malicious, but it's all due to their ignorance. Hence, the Karens of the world.
Nah.
I mean, the arguments I hear, it's like, are you even listening to yourself? This is terrible. But maybe it's malicious. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit.
That's how I feel. Kind of don't give people credit anymore because they're on teams, and I hate teams.
Oh, come on! Oh.
Recording stopped.
What about you, Steve? Steve,
What's
did
that?
you learn during the pandemic? What were you like?
During the pandemic, I amped up my crafting game, mostly for D&D. In fact, so I was making something like recently, I was like, oh, I'm going to make this kind of crummy thing. It's going to be intentionally crummy. And because I wanted it to be kind of this decrepit thing, and I made it, and I'm like ready to start making it look bad. And I'm like, wait a minute, this actually, oh, 1 second, this actually looks okay.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
And so I made this ship out of foam. But I was ready to kind of make it kind of look kind of crappy, and I was like, no. And then I'm right in the process right now of making the sail. But this was what I did during the pandemic was, oh, I'm sitting here doing nothing. I'm going to make something for my Dungeons and Dragons game. So there you go. There's my ship.
You have another teaching lesson coming up, huh? For Dungeons and Dragons?
I do. In October. This is the second annual Welcome to D&D event. And right now I have 5 or 6 people signed up for it. So we'll see, which is a good number. If there's a couple more, great.
So my kids are younger girls where I'm letting them watch Stranger Things. So we watch it together is like the thing now.
Mm-hmm.
And one night they were like, they wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons because they play it in the show, right? And I'm like, are you serious? Like, let's take a poll here. All of the kids are like, yeah, we'd totally play. And my wife's like, I'm like, well, you have to play if they're all gonna play. And I'm like, oh, maybe we'll give it a go. So then I'm talking to a friend the other day and I'm explaining to her, I'm like, she's like, that is literally my dream, is for my kids to want to play D&D because she has like 2 different groups that she plays with on a regular basis.
Really? Wow.
So we'll see. We might pick up some kind of Stranger Things starter kit or something and give it a go.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. There is you can do
sick.
the Stranger Things or the new starter kit. There's a thing on the starter kit versus the essentials kit. I recommend like watching it. I'll send you something on it because one is definitely better than the other. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I went. They have a site now for like the main D&D with the starter kit on it, right?
Well, yes, yep. There's plenty of resources out there for you. Yep. That's funny because so I think I told you I ran an evening for Dean's son and a bunch of friends. I don't know if I told you that.
Nope.
This was like, I don't know, last winter, I think. And Dean was like, I kind of want to get my son into something other than video games, right? And got them all together, ran this session. It was pretty fun. They had a great time. And I guess one of the other boys, his parents got him like the starter kit or whatever, and they want to play again. So we'll see if I run another one for that. But that's really fun to get people into it at that age. That was the age I was at when I started. It was super fun, and it's a whole new world. To quote Aladdin and Jasmine.
Oh my god.
All right, when I find that Personas thing, I'll send it to you.
And what's great about that is you learn to operate as a really good team in Dungeons and Dragons. It's a cooperative, team-based thing where you love your team, you have your role, you make sure certain people are playing their role, the tank versus the healer. You know the drill, Ethan, right?
Not from D&D, from World of Warcraft.
Right. I'm sure you'll pick it up.
Okay, but like being that age and playing D&D also, there's so much more imagination, I feel, as like a younger child compared to an adult. The amount of shit that they will say is so good already.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
I wish I could just capture some of that imagination and put it in a bottle and open it every once in a while and like
Have you seen Second Skin? Monster Camp. Have you seen Monster Camp?
No.
Monster Camp is like an indie old movie that was made about LARPing. Do you know what LARPing is?
Yes, live action roleplay.
Yep. And there's a guy that brings his daughter and he talks about exactly that thing. And I'm like, oh, that's not a bad point of view to have, guy. Like, okay, I get it. Like, it's not for me, but I get it. That's like my favorite movie.
Or
I
don't know if I could ever LARP.
No, yeah. So Monster Camp is like, that movie is great. I think it's great. It's like this documentary and it follows like the Seattle something or other. It's great and sad at the same time because the people in it are kind of sad. But I've watched it a few times. I want to watch it again. And I think it was on Netflix for a while, which is how I even saw it.
Have you guys ever done a murder mystery party? Have you? No?
I have on a train in Seattle.
You're shitting me.
Nope. Nope.
I hate you. Okay, that's the only thing I've ever done that's like LARP, but it's not really a LARP. It's just you have a role that you have to play and you have like specific things that you need to do and say. Just help somebody solve a mystery, right? It's really fun. That's the closest I've ever gotten.
I can't even be bothered to dress up for company themed parties.
I love dressing up. I love it. I know why people don't, and that's cool and that's fine. I'm not coming for you. But it's great. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of fun ones, and it's like my wife and I are always there, like in jeans and t-shirts.
Fine. I'll go all out. There's like themed bars in Mankato here, and I always dress up for them because it's fun. Everyone dresses up. It's cool. Costume parties.
That is your jam, Beth.
Love it.
Jam. Yeah.
Halloween, your favorite holiday?
I think so. I really like Halloween, but I didn't dress up last year. I didn't actually do anything last year.
Yeah, it's understandable. Well, last year
I dress up for Labor Day, so that's fun.
Oh, what do you dress up as?
A union worker, coal miner. No.
Oh boy. I really like Christmas too. Actually, you know what? Take it all back. Groundhog's Day. Awesome holiday.
Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
Thanksgiving has
I'm
awesome
for real.
food. Groundhog's
Day.
Halloween is my favorite because everybody's so nice to each other. More nice than Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Wow, kind of being a team. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep
building each other up.
Oh God.
Keep stretching, Steve. Keep stretching.
I'm not making the news. I'm just reporting it.
Okay. We're rolling back to Groundhog's Day because I gotta tell you guys about this. Groundhog's Day is probably top 3 holiday for me. And it's weird, but it's great, and I'll tell you why. Because it's a specific thing that me and my friends do where we do a shot glass exchange, and dependent on whether or not the groundhog saw its shadow or not, we like really party opposed to mild party. And it's always a good time. Always. There's always
so if he sees his shadow and we have 6 more weeks of winter, you really party?
We really party.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that news.
Right.
Nope. We're like, all right, you heard him, boys. Roll out the barrel. If we have to deal with this, let's go.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
But if it meant basking in the glow and the warmth of your hearts, I can't think of anything better than a long and lustrous winter.
I think it's all out the window with climate change anyway.
Come on, that is from Groundhog Day, the movie. That is Phil Connor's final, where he landed on his speech at the end, where he's like, he's come to terms with being there.
Isn't there a new Groundhog's Day with a...
It's just the re-release of Groundhog's Day.
No, I thought there was a new one with a lady that was the new person. It's the same movie though, right? Just with a young person.
I don't know. Shall I Google it?
Yeah, we like to Google on here. I'm pretty sure it's not called Groundhog Day though.
Okay.
Groundhog Day 2 official trailer.
No
Groundhog Day will premiere on Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022.
But it's not with a lady. I thought there was one with a... maybe if I see it. It may not have... I thought maybe it was a TV show or something. Because, there's also that movie with Tom Cruise, which is a futuristic Groundhog Day.
Not sure.
I can't find it. I do not know.
Edge of Tomorrow, that was the name of the movie with Tom Cruise.
Oh, that was an awesome film. I love that movie.
I know there's one like based around murder.
Is it Palm Springs? I wonder if this is it.
Could be Hot Tub Time Machine.
No, that's more like Back to the Future.
I've never seen that movie. Am I really missing anything? It sounds awful.
They're not great movies. I mean, they're fun back then. And I think they were already out by the time I was old enough to watch them too. Because didn't that come out in like 86 or something?
I would imagine.